Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Pat. My business is Relax Life Coaching. I like to bring videos and information to people that help them to relax and be more at peace within themselves and with life in general. So I come on with different kinds of videos, and this is my website that you see here on the front. So feel free to take a look at that to learn more about me. Anyways, this video today is the September Archangels and Energies, where we take a look at just, what's the weather forecast, looking into the month of September with energies and, things that might be going on. So as usual, I pick out a few Archangel cards. This month, I'm also working with the Wisdom of the Oracle card deck by Colette Baron Reed, which I like very much. And I'm also working with a new deck, the John Holland Mediumship Training Deck. It's John Holland and Lauren Rainbow. Just because I think there's a lot of us out there who are working with our own intuitive abilities. We're very fascinated by that. And this card deck has some cards that help us in that process. So it has different themes and things that relate to that. So I thought it'd be kind of cool to pick a card from them. So let's get started and see what's up for the month of September. So for our Archangels, we have the Archangel Haniel and Sandalphon that are working with us this month. Haniel with the message of sensitivity. Okay. You're extra sensitive to energies and emotions right now. Honor yourself and your feelings. So this is a month where we might be feeling a little bit emotional. People might be very sensitive. You might encounter some situations where maybe you said something and didn't realize someone was super sensitive to it and they really reacted to it. So there's just a lot of sensitivity going on. If you are, someone who's opening themselves up spiritually, you might notice that your abilities, or you might feel even more sensitive right now. Part of that is due to the fact that there's so much going on in the world. All of us are feeling that undercurrent because of the political dramas, the earth events that are going on, the storms, the fires, the volcanoes, and disasters that are happening. There's an underlying unease, and a lot of us are picking up on that. Sometimes you might find yourself feeling sad or just, have an unexplainable feeling there. But what that message is it's about your sensitivity. And so it's urging you to pay attention to it, honor it, sit with it. Okay. Haniel is an archangel who obviously she helps us to deal with that sort of situations, but her name means the grace of God, the glory of God. And so she helps us to also be aware of the beauty and the grace and the strength within ourselves. Okay. She helps us see our own beautiful qualities and the beautiful qualities of humanity. Okay. And in this card, actually, if you look at the image on it, it gives a little bit of information about how to mitigate some of that sensitivity. It's about taking care of yourself, going outside. In this picture, she's outside, sitting in nature, and she's playing a harp. So it speaks to, getting out in nature, get your feet on the ground if you can, to a place that, maybe has some beauty and brings some comfort to you, or soft music, listening to soft, gentle instrumental music, or whatever music helps you to feel calmer and more grounded. Okay. That's a way of helping some of that sensitivity that's creeping up right now. Maybe some people there's so much beautiful music out there. And, if you can get the right music and just sit with it, it really helps to soothe your soul. And so that helps to mitigate some of that sensitivity that's going on. She also has a message for us with paying attention to the moon cycles this month. And so tomorrow, I'm filming this on September 1st, but September 2nd is the new moon. And new moons are a great time for starting new things. And as we enter September, a lot of new things are starting, school's starting again. We might feel that energy to start or begin new projects. or make a new start in some area of our life. So, and it's a great way. What she's saying in that message is to capitalize upon that. We're going to be paying attention and capitalizing upon that. Okay. The other archangel who's working with us is Sandalphon, with this message of gentleness. Okay. And he says, be very gentle with yourself around this time. Surround yourself with gentle people, situations, and environments. So it's a message as much as you can that there might be potential for some dramas going on. And just to as much as you can, when you can, step out of or step away from harsh environments, harsh people, and surround yourself with something that's gentle and soothing. Okay. Don't be too hard on yourself. All right. Because as I move into the Colette Baron Reed cards, it gives us a little bit more insight, I think, into what's going on. So we have a few different cards here. We have Deep Knowing. Okay. We have the Thinker. Between Worlds. And this Message in a Bottle card. So, we can certainly look at these individually and collectively, what the story they tell going for this month. But Deep Knowing is really about trusting your hunches this month. Okay. Because you're honoring your sensitivity, because a lot of times our sensitivity is showing us the truth about a situation or a person or something like that. So, it's like on the surface level, we have to deal with things respectfully in a certain way in the physical world. But we also have a gut feeling, an underlying feeling that we get about a person or a situation. And that's what it's urging you to pay attention to. Even if it's making you really sensitive, like making you feel like you want to cry, or you have that, a feeling of sadness or something, or an unease, and you just don't know why. It's letting us notice, take some time to sit and honor that and be with it for a minute. To see what it might be about or what it's coming from or what have you. And trust your inner knowing, trust your hunches. If you look at this card, okay, it has an owl. I don't know if I can get it up close enough because of the way this background is, but it has an owl sitting on what looks like the face of the moon. But there also looks like there's a planetary body or a moon behind it. The owl represents wisdom. So it very much speaks to trusting your own inner wisdom. Okay. All of us have it in our own unique way, whether it's your own, wisdom as a parent, or it's your knowledge and experience from working with something for a long time that's given you an intuitive wisdom about what you work with. Whatever it is, trust it. Okay. The Thinker certainly speaks to the new energies that come in at the beginning of a new moon cycle, when we are starting new projects or getting ideas to put into place as we go into the fall. Okay, the Thinker is all about planning and strategies, thinking things through, making lists, making sure you've dotted your I's, crossed your T's, and having a plan for how you're going to execute something. Okay, now this is very much in line with transitions this month. Okay, September is, in a general way, a month of transition. We're coming to the end of, the summer season. I believe the last day of summer is September 22nd. So we are coming to the end of one season and transitioning into the new season of fall. And there's that lovely weather change, that goes on here in New England, where, September is a beautiful month, and I love September. But, we start to, the god-awful heat and humidity starts to go away, and we start to slowly go into the cooler temperatures, which is nice. But it's also a month of transition for kids going back to school. It's back to that schedule again, and, having to be organized around that. And, honestly, as I look at these cards, I say this speaking to you as a mom who's been through those times of, if you have children going off to a new school, maybe they're going off to college, maybe they're going off to high school, or maybe it's their first day of school for you. I always remember those times making me very emotional, very, very sensitive, because there's something about that where, your kid's growing up. And it is a very emotional time, and you are very sensitive during that. There's a part of you that's like trying to stay on top of the details and the strategies, to help them get organized and learn how to be little adults. And deep in your heart, I think that they're going to be okay. It's what your intuition is. Trust your intuition, what your intuition is telling you about it. But the outcome is that, this is the messages card, and it's about receiving signs and messages, that things are going to work out okay. It's when you get those messages that are pointing you to the right path, or let you know that you're on the right path. So, I think too, in general, people are going to be a lot more sensitive, because, we are heading into at least here in the United States, we're heading into our election time, and there is so much sensitivity around political issues like there's never been before in this country that I remember. And a lot of dramas playing out, that are going to play out in that political scene. And a lot of things coming to light, about things that may have been corrupt, illegal things that have been going on with people. And, that brings up a lot of our unease too. I mean, it's important to remember the world is not going to hell in a handbasket, but we are collectively. And when I say collectively, I don't mean just the United States. I mean, the world, its peoples are going through a consciousness shift. Our consciousness is expanding, and transitions are times when, we get this glimpse of exciting new things for the future, but we are also tying up the loose ends, letting go of the old, what's in the past, things that no longer work for us, relationships that no longer work for us. So, and it makes us sensitive. So, I also feel like some of you who are developing intuitively, you've been exploring your intuitive abilities, and they're getting stronger. So you may find yourself super sensitive that way. I know sometimes there's a lot of you out there who are empathically and psychically sensitive. So new moons and full moons are times when those can be heightened. So that's part of what that moon cycle message is about. But call on these archangels for help with that. Haniel helps us to see our beauty and our she helps us to be well-mannered, to see the beauty in humanity. I'm also reminded of a book that I think is by Anita Morjani called Sensitive is the New Strong. So that might be something that's worthwhile looking into here. But, and Sandalphon is an angel of, he's very gentle. He's very calming and very soothing. And even in his image, again, he has that, both of these archangels have a beautiful blue color to their aura. His has an aqua blue, but he's got the musical instrument. I think it's a lute. But it's that, again, that message of, maybe play some gentle music, gentle instrumental music to help mitigate some of that unease or sensitivity that you may be feeling. Nurture your soul. Do something and listen to something that's nurturing to you. Okay. It's all going to be okay. We're going to get messages that we're on the right path and that, things are going to work out okay. All right. And trust in that. All right. Now, our mediumship training deck card that came out. And this is a little bit of an extension of last month's message of patience, because that's what it is. It says practicing patience. And it's got that little rock, very Zen looking rock pile. Now, these cards, as I mentioned, are designed for helping you if you're interested in your own intuitive abilities and developing them, and you're very fascinated with that. These cards present themes that help us with that process. Okay. And the way this comes into practicing patience is to be patient with your progress. I made a video this past month in August called "The Challenge of Patience." So I'll link it below if you want to, if you're interested in watching it. But sometimes we can feel very frustrated. Our progress seems to just be going too slow, or what have you. And this card is a reminder, okay, that we need to be patient with our process and with other people's process, especially if people are feeling very sensitive right now. But in terms of your own process, whether it's the unfoldment of your intuitive abilities or some other process that you're going through right now, okay, the more you can practice patience and let go of it, sometimes that brings about the answer that you're looking for, okay? You know, I remember one of the times that I had called on, because I call on oracle cards all the time. And there was one day years ago when I was, I pulled on the Archangel Michael deck, and out came the card, "It's time to leave this unhealthy situation." And that always leaves me feeling like, oh my God, what does that mean? So I asked very intensely, Archangel Michael, can you please show me what this means for me? Can you give me an additional, some additional detailed information? Does this mean it's time to leave my place of living? Is it time to leave my career, my place of work? Is it time to leave a relationship in my, what's the unhealthy situation that it's time to leave, And now I didn't get an answer in that moment. And sometimes that happens. You're asking very intensely. Maybe you're meditating or you're asking or writing, very intensely to spirit for an answer. And it just doesn't seem to come. But if you let it go and walk away from it for a bit, okay? Step back, do something that's mindless, walk away from it. That's often when the answer comes in. And that's exactly what happened in that time when I asked Archangel Michael that. I went on about my business for the day. And later on, a few hours later, I was sitting out on my deck, enjoying the beauty of the day, not thinking about anything, just really enjoying the peace and the beauty of the outdoors from my deck. And that's when the answer came to me. All of a sudden, it was like a download. I was going to get my lease renewal notice. They were going to go up on my rent, and I was going to want to leave or need to leave. And sure enough, within a week, that's exactly what happened. I got my lease renewal notice where they tell you, okay, if you're going to be leaving, you need to give us 2 months notice. And they also informed me that my rent was going to be going up by like $300, and I was not going to have any of that. So I had to start making plans and thinking through a strategy, of what I was going to do and where I was going to go. But that's a little bit of what this message has to do with. Sometimes when you're asking really intensely for something, they hear you, but it's harder for you to hear the answer because you're so focused on getting the answer, if that makes any sense. And it's sometimes when you let go and you walk away to do something mindless, you go wash the dishes or something. That's because you've let go of it and you've allowed space for the answer to come to you. So anyways, I hope these messages resonate a little bit with you this month. I hope it's helpful for you. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate your viewership. So, and if things resonated with you today, please like, subscribe, leave a comment. I look forward to seeing it. And I look forward to seeing you again this month, probably within the coming week. All right. Take care, everyone. Thanks so much.